Hello, glad to see you for the second part of my series on how I try to create a military faction in RimWorld. If you haven't watched the last episode, I highly recommend you do so right now and then come back to watch this episode. And now we begin. It all started with the fact that a new colonist decided to join us, an old man who had simply incredible abilities in medicine, crafting, and was an excellent artist as well as a scientist. And almost immediately after that, a large group of raiders attacked us. There were 9 of them, but luckily they were armed only with melee weapons. We had some time to prepare for their attack, and when they did decide to advance at the same time, our colonists took up defensive positions. We tried to kill them on the approach, or at least stop several of them, but it so happened that the enemy was able to approach our positions too close. The main problem was that among my 4 defenders, only one was suitable for shooting at close range, because only he had a shotgun. Fortunately, we were able to knock down 2 raiders on the very approach, but all the others came close to us, and it was here that one of the scariest battles of recent times began. My colonists with bolt rifles just couldn't take down the raiders up close effectively, so it was the colonist with the shotgun that became the deciding factor in this fight and ended up taking out the maximum number of raiders before they started running away. It was the colonist with the shotgun who killed all 4 raiders, and the remaining 5 began to run away, and some of them were already finished off by our colonists with bolt rifles. After such a hellish slaughter, the only thing left is to burn all the corpses of the enemies in the crematorium. It is also, of course, important to heal all the wounds of our allies, but this time we were lucky and all the enemy's blows were stopped with the help of body armor and helmets. I took on a mission to keep 3 Boomelops for 25 days. The main conditions were that all 3 Boomelops remain alive, because there are 2 problems that we will have to face. First of all, the main problem is that these Boomelops are being hunted by an enemy faction that will regularly attack us during these 25 days. The second problem is that winter is coming soon, and the animals simply won't have anything to eat, but as a result, I was able to figure out how to keep the Boomelop alive. You may ask me why I took this task at all. The answer is very simple. As a reward, I will receive a thickened barrel, which is needed for crafting a mortar, as well as an endless fuel generator, which I see for the first time, and my friend, it will be very useful for us, because we will be able to craft mortar shells and weapons which requires fuel to craft. By the way, our prisoner has joined us. He will be an excellent fire support for my fighters. He has only one downside: he needs to take drugs to stay alive. This, of course, makes it a little more difficult to keep him, but in general, I don't see anything difficult in buying him a lot of psychedelic tea, which he will drink every 5 days. Winter has begun, and now my crops will die, and the most terrible thing is that the grass, so important for the life of my Boomelops, will die. Therefore, I decided to enclose our garden with a wall, build a ceiling over them, and put heaters so that the plants could grow. But the main problem is that nothing can actually grow without sunlight, and solar lamps consume too much energy. Because of this, I set the priorities so that the solar lamps illuminate only the area with grass that grows for our Boomelops, and we can get food for ourselves with the help of hunting. And so began the endless attacks of raiders. Each group became larger and more dangerous. In general, the whole problem was that the raiders attacked from many directions, and we simply could not divide our colonists so that they acted as efficiently as possible. If I'm very honest, I didn't experience big problems with overcoming these raids. On the contrary, they showed holes in our defense that I can now patch. And I didn't hesitate. I immediately decided to build walls around our solar panels and also build a wall next to our prison. I did this so that the raiders only had one way to get to my colonists, and I would have no reason to split up my colonists to fight different groups of raiders. To begin with, I decided that it would be a good idea to build the walls at least from wood, and then it would be possible to convert them into stone. And we didn't have to wait long. Our walls showed themselves from the best side already during the next raid. We were attacked by quite a lot of enemies, but having taken up the defense with all the colonists on only one side, we were able to easily get rid of the enemy. By the way, I tried to capture 3 of the wounded raiders. 1 died from blood loss, and the other 2 ultimately have a chance to become our colonists. Due to the fact that we cannot grow plants, because it is winter outside, I was forced to start hunting for almost all the fauna that was on our map. Small and large animals fell under the knife. We killed everything we saw, from squirrels to boars. We did not disturb only those animals that could theoretically respond with aggression. Overall, this hunt was very productive and we were able to relax a bit and not worry so much about food. Winter was slowly ending and the first plants began to grow. I decided that in order to somehow feed our bumalops, it would be possible to use the berries that were already actively growing, and I did this. And I also decided that it is time to remove the ceiling that we built over our fields, and now the plants can grow. One of our prisoners decided to join us, and as soon as I had time to give him an armor and weapons, we were attacked by raiders. We dealt with them quite quickly, and they didn't even come close to my colonists. I think this is a very good indicator of our security capabilities. And finally, our other captive also joined our colony, so now our colony has as many as 9 colonists, 8 of whom can hold weapons in their hands and can shoot them very skillfully. I think this is the end of our video. Please like, comment on this video, subscribe to the channel and watch other videos on my channel. Johny was with you. Goodbye.